you might be you might be crazy, but I'd like to see what you got. Soon Pam was living on Lana and Dorothy's sofa, and she and Lana were working almost constantly on the screenplay. Pam, acting on what she had seen, was really redirecting Lana towards a darker vision of Ho Chi Minh City and elevating its importance in the film to almost a central character in the film. One night after dinner, the three of them were sharing a bottle of wine or three, and Dorothy accidentally damaged the portrait that Danny had painted for Pam. And then a day or two later, Lana and Dorothy broke up and Dorothy moved out. Pam could tell that Lana blamed her for Dorothy leaving, although she had done nothing that she could tell. So nothing. So 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 she and Lana both argued, and Pam was about to leave. The flashes had stopped coming. There was too much anger and emotion. So Pam said, "This is ridiculous. Unless we can let go of the anger, we feel towards each other. This is over." "So," said Lana, "what good are you anyways? The film is not what matters. You're not what matters. Dorothy is what matters. I want my Dorothy back." "Then tell her that." "What?" "Tell her I don't matter. The film doesn't matter. Only she matters. And then as far as me helping you, if it's over, it's over. It'll all work out in the end. So I think if you are honest with Dorothy and speak to her from the heart, if it is meant to be, it'll be. So look, I am happy when you are happy. So for now, I will move back to the hotel for a while where I'll be waiting for my next flasher tomorrow and see where it leads. What you need to do is go talk with Dorothy and invite her to Vegas for the weekend. I'll pay for it." "Here." "Really? Thank you. I can't let her get away. Thank you for being so understanding." Pam and Lana hugged, and suddenly Pam said, "Lana." "What?" said Lana. "She's your Amazon princess." "What?" "Your second movie. It's going to be called Amazon Princess, and it's going to star Dorothy, and it makes you a player in this town." "I don't know if we can hang around anymore, sister. I have my priorities." "Yes," said Pam. "She is your priority, and no, I won't be hanging around. This is just my way of saying goodbye." Good, thank you. You are welcome." So Pam moved back into the hotel and she began opening herself up to the universe and meditating quite a bit. Suddenly Pam saw the door number of the room directly across the hall from her. So she knocked on it, and there was a young man in the room. Avo Johnny. "Hello, I'm your muse, I think." "What?" "Well, usually I see a place and I know I'm going to find my next project there, but I usually feel something, but I don't know." "A muse? What do you want to help me do?" "I help you reach your full potential. I help people. I want you to... I want to reach people and change the world. I want to help you reach people and change the world through your art." "Well, I'm not sure I have an art." Would you like a drink?" "Sure," said Pam. "Who is that?" came a voice from inside the bedroom. It was a young lady who says that she wants to be my muse. "Your what?" The door opened and Pam... the door opened... and whoops, wait a minute. What the hell is it? "Who is that?" came a voice from the bedroom. It was a young lady who says she wants to be my muse. The door opened. "You're what?" And Pam saw her and got a flash of tomorrow. "From stand-up to stardom, one name says it all. Thalia." "Yes, that's my name. Do I know you?" "I'm your muse if you want me to be." "Hey, I thought you were my muse," said Arvo. "No, I just knew I would find the next person I am to help in this room, and I just assumed that it was you. It wasn't." "But if I was you," said Pam, "I would stay out of those gambling joints on the Upper East Side. They're nothing but trouble." "Oh, Arvo, she certainly has your number." "How did you find me?" asked Thalia. "You were led here?" "No, I was sitting in my room across the hall and—" "You're in the room across the hall from us?" said Arvo. Uh, yes, she's a stalker," said Arvo. "I've been in that room for a month, waiting for inspiration to guide me, and today I saw myself standing in front of your door and knocking. So I walked across the hall and knocked," said Pam. "At first I thought it was you I was here to help. Then Thalia walked out of the bedroom, and I got a flash and I saw an article written about her, and it said, 'From stand-up to stardom, Thalia, one name says it all.' And you're sure you didn't know who I was before you walked into this room?" "No." "Well, thank you for the offer, but that is something I would have to think about. But I'll put you on the guest list for tonight's show." "Well, thank you. One last thing. What happened to you in Cleveland?" "Cleveland? How did you... Well, Cleveland, that was a funny story. Blah, 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 blah." Later that night, Thalia retold the story at the show and brought the house down. That was the night she met the president of Warner Brothers, who was in the audience, who introduced himself after the show and invited her to lunch, and the night she finally decided to drop her last name, Kajini, and just go by Thalia. She looked back at that night as the night when she was reborn anew like the phoenix that she was. When Thalia oh, yeah, that's not tilted, okay. When Thalia returned after the show without Argo, who had gone off to the gambling parlors, she pounded on Pam's door and they talked all night. From then on, Thalia kept Pam close. Arvo didn't like it, but he didn't have a say. Besides, whoops, it jumped a little. Come on, go back up. How do I do it? Okay, there it goes. The arrows are confusing sometimes. Thalia kept Pam close. Arco didn't like it, but he didn't have a say. Besides, secretly he believed she had the gift, and he was frightened of it, especially after what happened in the gambling parlors the night after she warned him not to go, and then when Thalia's first movie began filming, and Arco got shot in another one of the little illegal gambling parlors, he couldn't stop himself from going. Thalia rushed to his side. She told me to stay out of them parlors. I said, "Oh, I didn't listen. I swear from now on, I will do all of my gambling online." "Hush, sleep now," said Thalia, who showed a small smile, knowing that was a lie, because it was not just the gambling he was addicted to, it was the life. Her director threatened to throw Thalia off the movie if she ever cost them production money again. So Thalia asked Pam to stay by his bedside while she worked. But he was too frightened of her, so Pam stayed out in the hall where she got a flash of a train station with an old-fashioned clock hanging from the rafters. So that night she did an internet search and in the morning she was gone, and Thalia and Arco never saw her again. Thalia made her movie, which was good enough to get her a second movie, in which she played a muse who helps a model climb the ladder of success, as well as find true love and happiness along the way. And after that she became a character actor, as the world-wise best friend, the girl who was wise to the ways of the world and men, and was possibly also, but not definitely, a witch. All variations on the character she developed from watching Pam. At a train station in England, Pam was standing under a large clock when she was robbed, and she fell, hitting her head. At the hospital they could not wake her, so her parents were notified. They came to England, and they were told by the doctor that they had run some tests and had discovered a benign tumor growing in her brain that might be the cause of her daughter not waking up. So the parents agreed, and it was removed almost immediately after the operation. Pam woke up groggy, but still herself. Later in the hospital room, the young doctor held Pam's hand and said it was a benign, harmless tumor, but it was sitting right on top of your optic nerve, so it might have meant blindness in the near future. And the pressure it was putting on the thalamus may have been what was preventing you from waking up. So we removed it. Removed it, said Pam. It's given me a life. Before the day I passed out back in Kolkata, all I had done since birth was study. I had not lived. And since then, suddenly, I had a life, I had an adventure. Wow, said the doctor, lost in Pam's smile, not hearing a word she had said. You have beautiful eyes, and you have your eyesight. And I see someone who is never going back to the old Pam. As the camera slowly withdrew from the room,